Lots and lots of videos, huh? What can I say? I'm inspired. I am excited. I am at a place. There you go. I'm at a place. Okay. So here's the deal. I love helping people. I love helping people on this journey. I love being a part of somebody else's journey. I love it. I can't even tell you how much. Like, I honestly can't even tell you. So, part of that is because, as I have said, if I can do anything to make it easier for you to get to this point, I would do it. I would do almost anything to help every single person get to this point. Okay. The second part of that is completely selfish. It's because I have said many times, when I talk to you guys, I figure out things. It's like I'll be talking to a friend and they're like, oh my God, when did you even come up with that? I'm like, dude, just now. I know it sounded pretty smart and it sounded like I worked on it, but I just came up with it because we were talking. So it helps me. And part of knowing yourself and knowing your journey, like, and being successful is knowing those things. So, like, through you and through every time I interact with you guys, I get better. There you go. That being said, at any given time, I have a friend who sends me her food journal. I have another friend who is doing it now. And I have a friend who I beg to send me her journal because I beg her to keep one. And I have to really work on her. I'll get one like a couple of days and then nothing for months and whatever. But we're working on it. Actually, I don't think I've ever gotten one from her. You know who you are. Get the food journal together. Anyway. So, anyway. And I'm answering emails and checking messages here. I love it. Recently, I've been talking to somebody, and I will never, ever, ever, unless given express permission, out the person who I talk to. Because it's a very personal journey. It's a very important thing to me that you feel like you could come to me and say anything. And be brutally, ridiculously, disgustingly, appallingly, honest. And you will never be judged, you will never be criticized, and you will never, I might give you some constructive criticism, like, ooh, maybe you're hurting yourself there, but you know what I'm saying? And you will never be outed, because that's not my place, it's not my rule, it's just not. But, I was talking to somebody today, and we were talking about feeling worth it, and I was like, so often, like you're making bad choices because you don't feel worth it, whether that's conscious or not. And I was talking about how taking care of yourself, feeling disgusting and dumpy, for me was like dumpy and gross. Like, I was like, if people look at me, all they see is dumpy and gross. Seriously. And when I was bigger, like if I spilled water on myself or anything like that, I was horrified for people to see it, because all I could think was they'd be like, of course that disgusting fat yuck, like spilled crap on her. Like, it was horrible. In my brain, it was ugly, ugly, ugly. So, that being said, I started getting my hair done, like, professionally. I've always done, like, wild colors. I haven't done them lately because I started losing hair when I started losing lots of weight. And I'm letting my hair recover. But I've always done wild colors, and I always did them myself. And I burnt my hair off. My mother always said it was going to happen, and it did. So when that happened, I decided to start getting my hair professionally done and cut and colored. And I felt so much more better about myself. So much like, wow, I'm kind of put together, and I have pretty hair. And in my brain, I could kind of psych myself into thinking if I'm being stared at, it might be my cute hair and not my largeness. So, speaking of which, my hair's all like ridiculous today, but whatever. Just thrown up in a barrette. But anyway, so that was my thing. Then after I started doing Weight Watchers, I started to get my nails done because I was growing my nails out. And I felt really guilty because I was spending money on Weight Watchers and now getting my nails done twice a month and getting my hair done once every 2 months or whatever. And it was like, oh my gosh. But I didn't think anything of the $100 a day habit at some point that was killing me. So it's really about finding worth. And those things help you. And I've said before, like, they are healthy rewards. You should not, if you're struggling with addiction, and probably not even if you're doing a diet, reward yourself with food. Just because, like, especially that, like, fast food or just, like, everyday food. If you want to do a very special dinner or a very special once in a blue moon thing, then I guess that's different. But for so many people, the thought process is, and it's actually not a thought process, it's a trap door in your brain. You're hurting yourself but telling yourself it's okay. And the thought process is, I've been good for 3 days, so I'll have a this. Or knowing that that can lead down a different road. Or I've been good for a week, so I can really blow it out. Or whatever it is. So for me, it was like, oh, now, like, I get my nails done. Well, I don't anymore now. I do my nails sometimes. I'm actually going to get them done today because I have very good fun news, and I deserve a reward. But it would be like, you know what? I'm going to get my nails color changed just because. Even though it's not a scheduled day, even though it's not a scheduled time, and it's going to make it to where I've done them 3 times this month, I'm going to get my nails done. So, like, instead of going to eat. And that was a big shift in behavior and change, and it really helped. And then this person was talking about, like, yeah, taking themselves, you know, feeling better and wanting to date again. They hadn't dated in a while. And let me tell you this about that. It's hard when you don't value yourself to believe that someone else can value you. So, if you're dating someone you've been with and you've gained weight, your behavior has probably changed. And the relationship has probably changed. And if you are not dating and you've gained weight, or you're not dating and you were big when you broke up with the last person and you're still big and you're not feeling confident, then probably even people who were interested, you shut it down because you don't truly believe it. And I had the same thing happen. I am a long-term commitment person. Relationships are my thing. And I went from my last relationship a while back. I had my daughter, and things ended, and we had been together for 6 years or so. And I was single for a long time, which I think is great. I think you should take some time after a serious relationship to figure yourself out. You change so much, and so often people don't allow you to just change and grow, so you stifle yourself. So if you go through a big breakup, it's good to take some time. But then there was, like, this level of, like, when I did become interested and wanting to explore myself and date, I had a really hard time feeling like anybody would find me attractive. And actually, to exemplify this, I had a friend tell me that she did not date because she knew she would not be physically attracted to the kinds of people who would be physically attracted to her because of her weight. And I was like, girl, that's not true. Like, you can, like, people like bigger people. They do. Actually, my current partner, who I'm about to marry, totally liked what she called chub. She's adjusting very well to the non-chub or the thinner chub, but she did like chub. So you can find good people who will treat you right and who will enjoy what you look like. But you should never let that stop you from becoming healthier. Anyway. So, along this journey, I'm not feeling worth it. I don't feel like I can find anybody who's going to find me attractive. And then I started talking to this person, a girl, who I was extremely attracted to. And she was just my ideal, thin, cute. I just loved her. And I was like, there's no way in hell that this girl is going to like me. I'm disgusting. And she showed an interest. And the relationship, we were friends, and it just developed and stuff. And one day, she said something to me that really changed how I viewed myself. and completely changed the course of the next relationship that I got into, which is the one I am in now. And what she said was, like, we were talking about being intimate, and I was like, I'm just not comfortable. I don't, like, know what I like, because the whole time that that's going on, I just want to, like, disappear because I'm so embarrassed and mortified, and you know, I'm just so scared they're gonna see me and be disgusted. She said, little fat. Well, that's not what she said. She said my name, but you know, do you really think that I don't know what you look like under your clothes? I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, I mean, I know how big you are. I know what size you are. I mean, yeah, there could be some differences in there, but for the most part, you're not gonna, like, take your clothes off and gain 50 pounds. You don't lose 50 when you get dressed. You know, she was like, if I'm interested now, I have a pretty good idea of what I'm getting into, and I'm interested. So just let me enjoy you. And I was like, wait, so you know I'm fat? You know, I mean, I didn't say it like that, but, like, that's what happened in my brain. I was like, so you know that I'm big and you're still attracted to me. And that, like, really changed the way I started to think about myself. It was like, wait, you know, because, like, even though I hated how I looked in clothes, for some reason I thought, like, surely nobody could tell what the real situation was. I don't know how I thought that a piece of clothing could change 200-something pounds, but I did. And that really made me start to think. So here's what I'm trying to say. If they're attracted, let them be attracted. Don't devalue yourself. Don't be negative on yourself. Don't allow them to be negative because you're creating a negative environment about yourself. And most importantly, rock what you've got. Because just because you're big doesn't mean you're not fly. You are. And it wasn't until I started to realize that. Now, I'm not saying I didn't feel gross. I still did. But I did start to realize that I could rock the hell out of being big. Because you can. You can rock it. And I mean, that was a conversation with a girl, but I'm pretty sure dudes are the same, if not a little less critical. And if you're a guy and you watch this, I would love your opinion. I mean, unless you're doing some serious water brawn where there's nothing, or a corset that brings you in 25 inches, which I doubt any of us are, then you're not undoing anything that's gonna, you know. So if somebody's attracted, they're attracted to you. And you know, you shouldn't have let, I just started to realize how much that had affected my intimate life and my relationships. And I just think that, like, once you can rock yourself and rock what you got, there's less of a pressure to be perfect, and then you can start focusing more on the health aspect. So, there you go. That was my thought on that, and it came, and I was like, wow, that conversation really changed a lot for me, and I should probably share. So I did. And there's more. Ooh, and there's more. But I'll do the other one. Okay, I'll just do it. I don't even know how long this video is going to be. I'm sorry. Here we go. Just got back from the doctor. And I got blood work done by myself. Well, not really by myself. I had somebody there in spirit with me. The person I was just talking about. We were emailing back and forth. So I didn't feel scared. In fact, I was reading an email when the blood got drawn. So cool, cool, cool. Thank you. From a million miles away, you held my hand. And, yeah, okay. So the doctor was all like, impressed with the weight loss. And he was all like, I'm not going to do a liver biopsy. Yay. And I'm not going to do another ultrasound. Yay. And he's pretty sure that if I stay on this track and I lose weight and I continue to be healthy, I will probably undo all of the damage that being overweight did to my body. within the year. Okay, seriously, shut up. No, really, okay? Then he asked me for my name and number and if he could give it to a few patients because he felt like they should talk to me. Hell yeah, because that's what I'm all about. And then he told me I made his day and his week, and I made his life easier because he doesn't have to take a piece of my liver out. Okay, so, yeah. Name and number. Yeah. And he was all like, okay, now this is a doctor who before was like, why don't you try to lose 20 pounds? And I had been on Weight Watchers at that point for like a month and a half. And I was like, I'm going to lose 100 pounds. And he went, yeah, let's just focus on 20. Well, today, when I had the conversation with him, and he was like, damn, you know, pretty much. Well, he didn't say damn, but anyway. So he was all like talking to me. He was like, what's your goal? And I was like, I would like to lose. Originally it was 100 pounds. Now I'm thinking like 120 to 125. I'd like to be able to get 130 pounds. And he was like, oh yeah, you'll totally get that done. Like, yeah. Like, really? Because I made a believer out of you. Thanks, Doc. Anyway, and also, I have been sending daily inspirational emails to my friend who I love, and I talked to some of you other guys, but sent her like a daily message, and she's into yoga, and she's doing all that stuff, and they're putting a program together, and she mentioned my videos and my daily message, so that might become like a newsletter type of thing, not a newsletter, it's not going to be like long, but you know what I'm saying, like a bigger than just one person or 3 people. It might actually start going out to more people. How cool is that? It's awesome. It's awesome. And I still have a plan. I have a plan for exercise and to worship. And I have a plan for the park. So that today, 3/14/2011, was a sneak peek. Exercise, worship, and the park. Can't go into detail. It's in action. It's working out. Oh, and I also wanted to mention really quickly, now that the video is like 20 minutes long, and I'm going to sit here and say really quickly, like that's even a possibility. Let me get to my subscriptions. Sean. I don't know his numbers, so I'm looking them up. Sean 2382, who is awesome. I love him. I think he's fabulous. Like, totally adorable guy. Totally adorable. Like, totally. I'm digging it. But he has a video up about potential, and I wrote him back because he was talking about how we all need to go beyond our potential and like beyond what we're doing. Like, really, if you think that you're like, if you're just working out and you're like, nah, you're like at 75%, and then there's like 100%, and he talks about like going through that. And I wrote him a message, like, well, a comment, and I was like, I totally agree. And he's right, because there's this place, and I think you guys can tell that I've kind of gotten there for myself. Now, here's the thing. It constantly moves. If I stayed here, I would not be in the place in a week or two. Constantly getting better. And if you're not keeping up with it, then you're not keeping up with it. So, anyway, and I was like, when you reach past what you know you can do, past what you think you can do, and past what you hope you can do, you arrive at something incredible, and that is your actual potential. And I want you to think about that, because it's true. You gotta have faith in yourself, and you have to work it and push yourself. If I look back at the past almost a year, I have destroyed myself. There has not been 1 week where I haven't been wiped out 2 or 3 days because of how hard I'm working. And there hasn't been any, like literally, dudes, like seriously, I could tell you, actually I think I lost one, but when I find it, because I know it's around here, I can go back to May 22nd, 2010 and tell you what I have eaten every single day. Not one day, not one holiday, not one birthday celebration, not one anything went without being written down. Not one. And I can go back to May, well, I think it was June that I started working out, and I can tell you what I did on what days every single week. And that's really important because the sense of accomplishment, like when you do start to wear out, you look back at that and you're like, hell no, I'm not stopping now. I've done this for 6 months straight. It's crazy. Okay, I'm going to gentle yoga, and then I'm going to get my nails done because I feel like not having my liver pieces pulled out of my stomach and changing my health and inspiring my doctor who didn't even believe in me is a pretty flippin' big deal. And it deserves a professional color change. Ooh.